All right, does your low back hurt? Because if you're like 85% of the population, chances are the answer is yes. We're going to show you 3 steps in how to relieve your back pain. Step 1, show you a hands-on technique with some tennis balls. Step 2, some movement. Step 3, an exercise to help make sure that the low back pain stays away. Let's jump into it with step 1. All right, step 1, you need 2 tennis balls and a long sleeve shirt. Recharge shirt, optional, might help a little bit. Here's what you do. Grab the sleeve, tie the end in a knot. Take the tennis balls and roll them down. Have them in the sleeve, just like that. If you don't want to use a shirt, you can use a sock. But you got these 2 tennis balls in here, down on the ground. All right, so when you get down on the ground, it's very common for low back pain to be on one side or the other. Let's say it's on your right side, right? You want to know exactly where your pain is because you want to be specific with this. You don't want to just kind of roll around aimlessly. So let's say you have low back pain in this area. Have that entire area with the pain being right in between the 2 tennis balls. You're going to slowly lower yourself until you feel that pressure and then come right back up. Slowly lower yourself and then come back up. You want to let your body start to kind of experience that new sensation so it gets used to it. And then you can work into it, okay? Then you can lie all the way down, get your body used to that as well, have your knees bent, and then just roll your knees back and forth over that area. You might hear creaking, you might hear a pop, all that is fine. Pain should start to subside. If you feel like your pain is getting worse, then ease off a little bit. You can lift up your butt, press down, and then you can roll back and forth a little bit. Find the motion that really hurts. So if it's bending your leg, slowly bend into it until you feel like your pain's starting to get worse, and then ease off. Bring it up a little bit and ease off. Eventually, you should be able to work in through the full motion. Remember, the goal is to get your body used to processing the pain. Pain is a sensation. We want your body to accept it as okay. And the quicker you do that, the easier you do that, the better you'll feel. On to stage 2.
All right, so the second part involves getting a little bit more active, using some movement that we can do on our own to help with our low back pain. So there's 2 ways we can go about this. One, we can do a movement that is called flexion, which is bending our spine this way. Or 2 would be extension, or bending our spine in the opposite direction. One of those 2 ways is usually helpful for different types of people in combating the back pain that you're having. Let's check it out on the ground from here. So when we're bending forward into flexion, this is a repeated motion that can be really beneficial in helping with pain. So what you can start with is by simply taking one knee to your chest and seeing how that feels. If that's okay, go from there to 2. When you do this, you're actually bending your lower back in a flexed position. Do this repeatedly for 10 times. And if with each rep or every 10 reps, you may see a decrease in your pain, that's a really good sign that your back likes to be bent and flexed in that position. Now let's say that way doesn't seem to be helping or actually seems to be making things worse. What you can do from there is go to an extension movement. So what you'll do is you go onto your hands and knees, right? And from here, I'm gonna lower my hips to the floor, extending my back, like so. And I'll come back up. The same philosophy applies. I'm gonna do that repetitively, and if with each rep, or every 10 reps or so, my low back pain feels better, that's a good sign your back likes that motion, and it's something you can do throughout the day. Active movement, now on to part 3. All right, so let's go to part 3. We're gonna get a little bit of strengthening involved. You've probably heard of a foam roller, but maybe not used in this specific way to work as a strengthening exercise for your low back and lower body. Let me show you what I mean. So 1, you're gonna start with the foam roller tucked between the top of your foot and your hand. So I'm putting in pressure from the top and bottom. From here, what I'm doing is doing what's called a hip hinge. So I'm pushing my leg back, maintaining that pressure, and I'm keeping my back straight as I bend over. And I'm repeatedly doing that, really focusing on using my glute muscle and my hamstrings as I do that without bending my knee. From the side, it looks like this. Still applying pressure from my hand and from my foot. As I go backwards, I'm hinging over, and I'm coming right back up. This not only helps working on the muscles that we use a lot for lower extremity strengthening, but also helps with alleviating some of the low back pain we may be having or experiencing by using all the muscles around it. That may make us stronger and may help with any aches and pains that we have in our low back.